This news update is brought to you by...
Say hello to Carol. Carol talks for a living, from morning till night. So she relies on Flo's crystal clear home phone service brought to her through Flo's 100% fiber to the home network. It keeps her in the know, and because she bundles her mobile broadband and TV services, she enjoys huge savings, so she can enjoy much more for much less. So visit any Flo retail outlet, call 1-800-804-2994, or visit discoverflow.co to find out more. One-of-a-kind connection. This is how we flow.
It's Monday, April 11, and time for the Barbados Today Evening Update. Thanks for joining us. I am Fernella Wedderburn. Noted political scientist Dr. George Bell says the ruling Democratic Labour Party's dismissal of plans by the opposition to table a no-confidence motion against it was expected. However, he makes it clear that the grounds on which the BLP is basing its case for the vote is valid. Opposition leader Mia Motley plans to file the no-confidence motion sometime this week.
She has said that it is to expose the weaknesses of the government and to force a debate or to force discourse and discussion on the exposed weaknesses. And that is quite a legitimate method in Parliament to use. So on those grounds, I see nothing wrong with the calling of the no confidence vote. You would expect that the government would wish to dismiss it. And we saw what happened on one occasion when they simply did not respond. But that is something that you just have to take the risk of if you're in opposition, that is what the government can do. In any event, ultimately, as we know, they will outvote you. So that is another thing that is taken for granted, more or less, unless there's exceptional circumstances, as I said. So the dismissing by the government is not anything, to me, unexpected. The issue that Mr. Stroh is raising, however, is that it is to test the loyalty of certain opposition forces to the leader of the opposition. Well, that will wait to be demonstrated. If that is the truth, and if that is so, then he would have made a point.
That was Dr. George Bell speaking with Barbados Today. Meantime, Prime Minister Frondell Stewart says his government is focused on finding long-term solutions to get the economy back on track. This as he had his say on the latest downgrade by Moody's at his monthly branch meeting last night.
We continue on our course. Barbados' outlook looking good. You don't hear all the talk nowadays about devaluation and confidence and that kind of thing, because the government put a program in place that has been working. It take a little time. There are those who feel, in fact, the same Moody's people said that while progress is being made, they do not think it's being made at a fast enough way. Now let me tell you what that is a fine print for. That is a coded way of saying that we should aim to get the bottom line looking good as soon as possible. But the truth is, getting the bottom line looking good quickly will involve devastating Barbadian households. And this Prime Minister is not. In this small, highly personalized society where everybody knows everybody else, you send home a man today, destroy his family, and you meet him in the supermarket tomorrow or at a corner. We can't function that way.
In other news, planned strike action by organizations representing private service vehicle operators is off, at least for the time being. Officials of the Joint Committee of the Alliance Owners of Public Transport and the Alliance Public Transport Owners had plans to protest over what they say was the Ministry of Transport's failure to address urgent and continuing issues facing members. However, Transport Minister Michael Lashley assured them last Friday that their grievances are being looked into. As such, protest action has been delayed pending the outcome of two meetings, one scheduled for tomorrow and another on Friday, with ministry officials. Young Tarel Adams is now back home just hours after his mother issued an appeal for his return. The 11-year-old left his Station Hill, St. Peter home around 4:30 yesterday. His mother, Kimberly Adams, tells Barbados Today that he returned home this afternoon, some 5 hours after he was placed on a police missing bulletin. Up to news time, law enforcement authorities were questioning him on his whereabouts. Students at the Lawrence T. Gay Memorial School will not be returning to their Spooners Hill institution when classes resume tomorrow. Instead, the Ministry of Education says they will head back to temporary sites which they occupied the last term. Class 3 and 4 students will report to the Breath of Life Seventh-day Adventist Church in Whitehall, St. Michael. Pupils of Class 1 and 2 will return to the Sarah Ann Hill Methodist Church in Fairfield, Blackrock, St. Michael, while those in reception, infants A and B, will be housed at the Grace Hill Moravian Church in Spooners Hill, St. Michael. The school shut its doors back in February because of environmental issues, which resulted in teachers and students complaining of sore throats, itchy skin, and rash. In sports, former FIFA Vice President Alfredo Howitt has pleaded guilty to 4 conspiracy counts linked to a bribery scandal in football's governing body. New York prosecutors said Howitt took bribes worth hundreds of thousands of dollars linked to the sale of marketing rights to tournaments in Latin America. Each count could land him up to 20 years in jail. He's also due to forfeit $950,000. Howitt's plea deal is part of a case involving more than 40 FIFA officials.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
The 50th anniversary of Independent Secretariat and the National Cultural Foundation proudly present the theatrical production From Bossa to Barrow and Beyond.
We are not slaves.
Saturday, April 16th at 6:30 p.m. at the historic Golden Grove Plantation. Come, be a witness to history.
Aye, Nanny Greg.
Enter the ritual. Feel the power.
This country will be independent. And if I have to wake up all the sleeping angels in heaven, so be it.
From Bossa to Barrow and Beyond. April 16th. Tickets $50 adults, $10 youth and children. Available at all NCF outlets and at ticketpal.com.
In news from our regional neighbors, a Jamaican police officer finds himself on the wrong side of the law. The district constable was charged after he was reportedly caught having sex with a 14-year-old girl at a police station by colleagues. He was offered a $300,000 bail in a Kingston and a St. Andrew Parish Court. He is scheduled to return to court, that is, on May 19th. And finally, Brazil is awaiting the outcome of a congressional committee vote. It's a key step in the process to impeach President Dilma Rousseff over allegations that she manipulated government accounts to hide a growing deficit. The 65-member committee is meeting to decide whether to recommend impeachment, even as police prepare for protests in the capital.
The beleaguered Brazilian president is facing an almost perfect economic and political storm, for which a large proportion of the population here blames her directly. Perhaps the biggest crisis affecting her is a multi-billion-dollar corruption scandal focused on the state-controlled oil giant Petrobras. Dilma Rousseff used to be chairman of the board at Petrobras, and although, unlike other senior politicians and business leaders, she has not been directly implicated in the scandal, it has weakened her authority and that of her government. And that is why many Brazilians think she should either resign or be impeached. Yes, in the last decade, Brazil was the darling of the developing world, its economy booming and millions brought out of poverty thanks to innovative welfare programs. The country was awarded the World Cup and the Olympic Games. But under Dilma Rousseff's second term in office, rising inflation and recession have threatened many of those gains.
That's news and sports, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. Also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, as well as Channel 99 on Flow TV and Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Frenella Wedderburn. Good evening.